Good morning, and welcome to Mental Health Monday. I am your host, Fran, and I am joining you this morning as I am en route to celebrate, to walk with my sister for a Memorial Day parade. So today is a bit of an abbreviated session, but I still wanted to do it because I feel that it'd be important for us to highlight this day and to discuss how important it is to remember what the day was originated for. So that being said, I did a little bit of research on the history of Memorial Day, and I wanted to make sure that I highlighted that it's important that we, while we celebrate people, it's been adapted over the years, it seems, to celebrate people who have passed away. But the original intent behind celebrating Memorial Day was to honor people who had died in service to their country. So I want to actually take just a short pause just to honor people who passed away serving their country in military service. So let's honor them just for a brief moment. I'm thankful today for the sacrifice that other people have made to make sure our country stays safe. But today I also want to acknowledge those who may be having a hard time dealing with the passing of their loved one who was maybe a service person. So today I want to encourage us not to just go to cookouts and, I like a nice piece of fried fish here and there, but I want to encourage us not to just get caught up on going to cookouts and these different things that we do on Memorial Day because we see it as just kind of like a free day. And I'm glad that we have a day of, it does serve as a day of rest for many of us. But I also want us to keep in mind that somebody sacrificed their life today so that we can enjoy this day away, for lack of a better term, a downtime day. So I want to encourage all of us today to be mindful and acknowledge those who have passed away in service to our country. Also want to honor people who have loved ones who previously served in the military who are no longer with us. My grandfather served in the Air Force. I have an uncle who served in the Army who's passed away. I have a cousin who served in the Army. I have several different family members who have served in the military and are no longer with us. Even though they didn't pass away in the line of service, they still served our country. So I want to acknowledge them today. So I just wanted to, today's session is a bit abbreviated only because I know today for me, I was going to help celebrate, and I know many of you are going to be helping celebrate today as well. So I want to encourage all of us to be mindful of the original origin of the day. It's not just for cookouts. It's not just for us to enjoy time off. It's to acknowledge, take a pause, and acknowledge those who gave their life in service to our country. So I want to acknowledge all of those people today, and I want to thank everybody who's joined me today. So let's see, we got some people joining us today. Hey everybody, I see Dr. Duncan, Ms. Forrest, my husband, Mr. Josh and Kiara. Thank y'all for joining me today. So if anyone is on here that has a family member that has served that you'd like to honor, you can post that person's name and I will call their name out. Today may be a day of rest for other people, but today, sometimes we have to remember that today could also be a day of mourning for some of us. We're acknowledging the passing of our loved one who may have been a service person or who died in the line of service. So want to acknowledge anybody. If you want to share your loved one's name, I would love to celebrate them and call their name out if you have a loved one that you want to share today. I've said a couple of people in my family. I'm thankful for those of my family or friends who served. They may be alive. I'm thankful that they're alive, but I also want to make sure that we do take that pause and just say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate your sacrifice on today. Anybody have someone's name that they want to share, they want to call out to acknowledge their service to the country, to our country today? Okay. Well, I'll call a few names. Dwayne Parson, Alvin Butts, Eugene Turner. Those are a few of my family members off the top of my head that I know that have passed away, not necessarily in service while in service to the country, but they have served our country. So, anybody else? All right, people. Well, I do hope that you have some time to rest today if that is your plan. I also hope that you have time to acknowledge the sacrifice that those who have come before us have made so that we can enjoy some of the freedoms that we enjoy, and done all that they could to keep our country safe going abroad and fighting for our country. We thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to the families who've made sacrifices in their loved ones, with their loved ones not being here, going away, and having to deal with, some of us having to deal with the loved one passing away while they were in service to our country. We acknowledge your sacrifice as well, because as a family, you made a sacrifice by being connected to that person who has served our country. Thank you. Thank you. And I definitely thank you, Dr. Duncan, for sharing your father's name. We acknowledge Mr. Ernest L. Williams, who served in World War II. Thank you for, we're thankful for your father's sacrifice to his country today, Dr. Duncan. Anyone else care to share their loved one's name as we honor those who have served? All right. Well, as I've stated before, I hope that you have this day of rest, but also remember to acknowledge those who have sacrificed for us. So with that being said, thank you so much today for joining me for Mental Health Monday. I appreciate you joining me. Please get some rest today if your plan is to rest, but please let us make sure that we acknowledge those who have sacrificed for us. Thank you. And if you, as you know, I always encourage all of us, if you need someone to talk to today, please do that. If you need somebody to process your loss with, please do that. If you're experiencing any sadness, any challenge with getting through this day, I definitely encourage you to talk to somebody today. Don't go it alone. If you're feeling by yourself, if your loved one has passed away, don't go it alone. You have help. So always remember that your mental health matters. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.